And then it's usually right here.
Are we streaming? Good deal.
Yeah.
We're streaming.
Ah! Okay. Guys, welcome to On the Plus Side. I know it looks a little different for this episode. I have my husband here. He likes to say he's the producer, but you know, he's helped. Please turn that down. He's helped with, you know, some of the technical things.
Troubleshooting. We'll say troubleshooting.
Yeah. So gonna let some of you guys, as always, come on in.
I'm sorry.
What's the matter?
It still says close function.
Oh,
action.
crap.
That's why you have to open up Twitch so you can edit from Twitch.
Okay, wait.
Technical difficulties. Bear with us.
Be back.
It automatically does it.
It automatically does it.
So we can, let's see, we're going to go here. Here.
I mean, it's over here. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Give us, just, drop a comment if you're here. I think I saw Tina Louise here.
I did see Tina.
We
Twitch.
kind of took some stuff off just because, you know. I know. Bear with us. We're not in our...
Oh, it's so loud.
Babe, pause that. What are you doing? I never do this when I'm here.
All right, well, I'm letting go. You do your thing.
Well, just because I never do this when I'm here. See, this is why I don't do that.
Just close it out.
Well, just do it. I never do.
All right, there you go. All right, technical difficulties are over. Hopefully.
I hope so. I don't know if any of you are here today.
0 in session. Do you gotta refresh that?
Maybe.
There we go. Okay, I just needed we do have a viewer. Who's a viewer?
It's probably Tina Louise.
What? I had it open on my phone.
She's our...
We do have a viewer.
She's our, oh, let me lower this. What do you... She's our VIP, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's going to show you who's...
Yeah. It'll show me the comments and all that. So, let's get into it because it is already 9:07.
We're late. We're sorry.
Yeah. So, we were just changing the title because we definitely don't want people to be confused when they go back and they're like, close? I already saw this episode. No, you didn't. There's a new one, okay? So, a little backstory. So, obviously, my name is Ashley. My beautiful co-host is not here today. She is feeling under the weather, and she definitely needs to be 100% prepared for tomorrow, because she does own a boudoir photography with her husband. Yes, very cool. That's usually where we are at the studio. And so tomorrow she has a very, very big day. So I'm really excited for her and her husband. So Foster Black Boudoir Photographies. So with that being said, that's why today we decided that we were going to have a little bit of a different dynamic today. This is my husband, Jerame.
Oh, wrong hand. You can't see my hand. You want to move this camera over a little bit?
Yeah. Or you could just move in if you want to.
Because we have the bed showing.
Oh.
And you said you wanted to get the bear in there.
Yeah, the bear was cute, but I mean, it's fine if he's not in there.
Look at that ball head.
Just please. Okay. So, a little backstory on me. I'm 30. I was about to say I'm 29. I'm 30 years old. I got married when I was 20 years old. I had my daughter when I was 21 years old. And I became a widow when I was 22 years old. To this over here. I don't know if you guys can read it. To suicide. And so that has, you know, it basically took over my life at that point in time. You know, I don't know how it wouldn't have. And it definitely changed a lot of things for me, a lot of the way I saw the world, and obviously the way I dated. So, lo and behold, I was a few years alone, about 3. Well, not alone. I did date, I did, whatever. But nothing ever really too serious, I would say. Um, until I found Jerame. And so I wanted to ask him some of these questions about what it is like, or what has it been like to date me. Just because, when I first became a widow, I I was scared of the fact that I was going to be alone for the rest of my life, or I thought I was going to have to be alone for the rest of my life. But I was also scared because I was scared of dating again. I was scared of the idea of having to go through all that again. I had been married. I was married. I didn't think I would have to do all that again. But also the idea of, I was 23 years old. The idea of being alone for the rest of my life definitely scared me as well. What's the matter?
Your comments aren't coming up.
No?
No, so someone just commented. Try this one right here.
Oh, Hannah! Hey, Hannah! Interesting. And so, yeah. So I thought it would be important to maybe make an episode like this. And obviously, yeah, sure. And obviously, this is just one particular scenario. This is just one particular situation. This is my situation. None of the things I did or will do, I'm not telling you to do them. Obviously, I'm not a professional. This is just a open space, and I want you guys to know that I am an open book, just like I'm asking that the people of our community that we build together will hopefully be, so that we can, speak about things that are heavy on our heart, heavy on our mind, and we don't have to feel scared, because some of the things that has helped me is just speaking truthfully about the situations that have happened to me in my life. So, with that being said, do you want to do a little bit of backstory?
About yours truly.
About how we met, maybe.
I mean, we could start there. It was one fateful day. In August. Oh my bad.
Get in
my
the
bad.
camera a little bit.
Sorry. Let me see my comfort.
Today is actually our 5th year anniversary
of being together. So
yeah.
So essentially, it all started 2020 in peak COVID. I was just at work, doing work things, and we were on Hinge, and I saw this. Thank you, Hannah. I pay attention to the chat.
Thank you, Ada.
Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I know I'm very soft spoken. I was on Hinge, and I happened to see this beautiful woman who was, sitting next to me, and we matched.
Sitting next to you.
You were sitting next to me.
I'm sitting next to you now. Gotcha.
Okay. And I saw this beautiful woman who was sitting next to me before I was rudely interrupted, and I was like, wow, she is quite beautiful. And we matched, and I was like, wow, is she real? And at this point in my life, I had, pretty much given up on finding someone because it's just been so long. And believe it or not, I am not good with the dating game. So I gave her a snappy opener, and I'm gonna let her say what I said because it's funny for me to hear him say it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was going to the chat. Actually, when I met him or when we matched or whatever, I
Shout out to Hinge, by the way.
my father had just passed away, and I was very heartbroken because I had a very strange relationship with my father, and we were working on being more involved in each other's life, and he passed, and I had went to Florida for about a week, and I came back and I decided, okay, I'm gonna take a serious break from relationships. I'm not really in the mood. There had just been so much sadness that week. And so I went to delete my profile, and then I saw his comment, and I was like, what? And the comment said, sometimes I like to paint myself green, throw myself in a pool and float and pretend I'm a watermelon. And I was like, what? This isn't a real person. And so I said, why a watermelon? And then he said, why not? And he responded really quickly, and I was like, is this an actual person? So we started talking. I started asking him some questions, and he said he had just finished eating a sandwich. So I was like, okay, sandwich, green flag, right?
Double M in the word sandwich.
And then after that, he said he liked sushi, and I was like, okay, I guess we could eat together. That's great, right? That's all you need for love, right?
Sushi
And sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we decided to go on a date. We had set a date for our date. And then he told me he was free like a couple of days before our first date was supposed to be.
3 days before our first date, to be exact.
And I think you had casually said that you were free, right? Or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I don't remember I tried to I logged back into my Hinge, but that's all deleted now. So I couldn't.
Yeah.
My Hinge wasn't even working anymore. So I wanted to review the conversation for today. Not just podcast, but for just today because it's such an important day. But it was something along the lines of I think we said something along the lines of why don't we?
No. You said you were like free or something.
Which I wasn't free.
I think you were some kind of free. Okay.
Was our second day on?
No, our first day was like
during the week
on a Thursday or something like that. On a Thursday.
And then our second day would have been on a Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
So you said you were like free or whatever you were, and I was like, are you inviting me out or something like that? I don't know. I made a move and said, do you want to hang out or something like that? And that ended up being our first date.
Mm-hmm.
And our first date lasted about 8 hours.
Yep. I think we met at because I was
7 or 8.
I was going into my either my long weekend. No, yeah, I was going into my long weekend, so I didn't work Friday. So we met at 8:00 at a pizza place in town, and I don't think we left each other's company until 3:00 in the morning, roughly, give or take.
Yeah, it was like an 8-hour
date. First date. And I'll tell you what, I was, pardon the language, shitting bricks waiting for her in the parking lot because we had said we were going to meet at 8, I believe, like she said. And I was just sitting there in the parking lot. And the parking lot is separated into two. So there's one parking lot here, there's a building, and there's another parking lot. I parked in parking lot A or whatever, and she parked in parking lot B. And I'm just sitting in the parking lot. I think I was in the Subi too. Yeah. I was sitting in the parking lot, and then I thought she pulled up, and then this lady walked out, and then 2 dudes walked out, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, okay, that's not her. And then she was waiting on the street waiting for me, and she saw those exact same people, and she thought the exact same thing that I thought from what she told me.
Yeah.
So it was a huge what is going on for both of us? But then we messaged, and was COVID, so mask up. And so I walked out of my car, sweat pouring from everywhere if it's possible. And I came around the corner and I saw her, and I was like, God damn, she is the most beautiful woman.
Did I have my mask
You
on?
did your little,
The
cherry mask, yeah.
Cherry mask.
Yeah. And to this day, I stand firm that she is the most beautiful woman, even if she doesn't believe me, because I have to say those things because I love her. No, I say those things because I truly mean it, and she's got to get that craziness out of her head that I don't.
Well, I remember asking you if we could hug, and you were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm like, are you sick? No. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that part after.
I didn't give him COVID. I gave you something else.
She gave me
because Freya had it because our daughter was sick at the time.
She gave me the rarest form of strep throat, a form that is usually only prevalent in horses.
I don't know how Freya got it.
And so I got super sick after it, and I was like, yo, this chick gave me COVID. And then I remember being at work after my 5-day vacation and like just feeling the fever coming on, and went to the walk-in and they tested me for everything, and it comes back like negative for COVID, but positive for type C strep throat. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, have you been in contact with horses recently?
Jeez.
And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh yeah, my Freya, my daughter has that. And I was like, she got me sick.
Well, and your parents couldn't even be sick
I was
either.
literally like, okay, because like my dad is, both my parents are like, at that time, they weren't 60 yet. Actually, no, they were just about to be 60. But my father is he's on dialysis, so he's like high risk or whatever. So I had to be like barricaded in my room because I was still living with them. So I was just barricaded in my room, and they were like leaving food at my door, and I would open the door, like sneak it out.
Like a gremlin.
Yeah, like I was in jail, at home. But neither here nor there.
Where's that?
Mm-hmm. It was. I mean, look at us today.
All right, so cute backstory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Let us know in the comments if you guys have any more questions. I'm going to start asking him a few questions that I have here. And Hannah, our lovely Hannah, wanted to ask a question too, but I will ask that a little in the end, I think.
We do apologize. We think the sound is off, but I hope y'all can figure that out. There's nothing on there yet.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to see how many viewers are on, but I can't.
Pay attention.
I'm here. I'm paying attention.
Okay. So, what was your first reaction when you read I was a widow on my profile?
It was a bit of a shock. Not gonna lie. I mean, at the time, when she was about 5 years, she was like 25, so she was pretty young. Very young marriage, and just to be 25 and to already have like lived this entire life that came to an abrupt end. Definitely a little. I don't want to say nerve wracking, but I was definitely a little like. I guess cautious because I didn't know what to expect and all that, And of course, over time, we have talked about it, and I have a pretty good idea of the situation and everything that's happened since then. But it was definitely a different thing because she's had these experiences that very very few people will ever go through in their entire life. So yeah, it was definitely different. I definitely wanted to be. I didn't want to be too aggressive, too So definitely wanted to move at her pace, which is probably a little faster than my pace was even at that time. But
did you ever think that it was like bull crap? Did you ever think that I just post like, I don't know?
I honestly, I don't know, because just for me, I don't think anyone would play that kind of game. And if you were playing that kind of game, that's really, really shitty. So I was, putting my faith in humanity that you weren't just some like Loon.
Loon?
Looking for attention.
Okay. So question number 2. Why did you decide to give me a chance?
Are we talking about like from Hinge, like
From Hinge, yeah. From first impressions, I guess.
At that point in time, I wasn't expecting a relationship. You know, I was like I had said before, I was mostly giving up on finding someone. Um, so I was like, oh, we can chit chat, we can talk, go on a few dates, stuff like that. So I was just giving, and she was really cute. So I was like, I'm just, she's giving me an opportunity. I'm gonna give her an opportunity. We'll see how this goes. Push comes to shove. Nothing happens, and I made a friend. So
I'm a good friend. You also said on our first date that you had no time for relationships.
Well, at that point in time, I was working 2 jobs, pretty much from like 6:30 in the morning, working, and then going home, like getting out of work at 5, going home, eating, and then going to my second job, which usually went from like 6 to about 11 at night. As I got better at it, went from 11 to 10. So it wasn't a lie when I said that I didn't have time for a relationship, because my schedule was pretty booked up, you know. So I'd get home 10, 11 o'clock, depending on how gross people wanted to be, because I was cleaning office buildings, and usually like kind of like just wind down for an hour and then fall asleep and do it all again the next day.
All right. Question number 3. What were your initial thoughts on me having a child?
So I had previously dated someone who had a child who was, let's just say, unhinged. She definitely had her issues and stuff like that. So again, I have no issue with children. I had no issue with dating her because she had a child. I just initially I was afraid that I would get too attached, and then if something did happen, and then it's not just leaving her, it's also leaving our now daughter, and that was a little worrisome. But as time progressed, and it just felt different. So like just being with her, so I was really like, yeah, I don't think I have to worry about losing both of them, because I feel like this is it for me. So it was scary at first, because I've already dealt with being like dating someone with a child, and then the no longer being with them. But with Ashley, it was just different, so it was not really that much of a worry. I'm doing good.
I think so. The viewers will let us know. And since then you've adopted Freya,
yes,
so
I
now
have.
now you are her legal dad.
She is my daughter now. So
so you kind of answered this question before while you were talking. Were there times you felt like you had to hesitate in your actions?
I mean, in the at least in the terms with our daughter. I don't know, are we name dropping her? I don't know.
Yeah, I've already said her name.
Yeah. And in terms of Freya, I remember the first time I was over and she called me dad, and we were pretty early in our relationship, and not that I wasn't comfortable with it. We were still in that phase where it's like, it's not really, it's only been like a month or two. And, I don't know. Like I was pretty sure I was going to stick around, but it's still early, so you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. So we sat down and had a conversation with her. I'm like, hey, I'm just mommy's boyfriend, not necessarily your dad. She's like, okay, dad.
Yeah, it was so funny.
But it was mostly, well, like that was mostly my hesitation, was kind of like, I don't know how this is gonna work out. If I didn't feel comfortable with her calling me dad, I just didn't want to develop that relationship that early without knowing what's gonna happen in the future, and yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's one of the things that I liked about you because like I said, I had dated a couple people before, and one of them was very much like, oh, you know, I don't really want to have anything to do with that. And I was like, okay, well, if that's not really what I'm looking for, I'm looking for someone who's going to add to my family. I don't really want to be two separate families. Like my new partner and my daughter, I wanted us to be an entire entity, entire unit. And then there was other people who came into my life that were like desperate, asking for me to, have her call him dad and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't really feel too comfortable with that because I don't know if we're going to be together. I don't know if you're going to be committed to her, and it's like I'm already like scared of commitment at this point. It's like I also have like what people say like daddy issues, so it's like I'm definitely not going to just jump all in and have someone you know just be like, oh yeah, this is my daughter, she has to call me dad, blah blah blah, and then you're just going to disappear. That's just not that's not how that's not how I was dating. That's not the way I wanted things to go down. So I did respect you being cautious, you not being like, ooh, she can't call me dad, but also your nervousness. You knew it was something real. You knew it was a real job. It wasn't just, oh, she's calling me dad, whatever. It's just a name,
Yeah.
like friend or whatever. It's like being called dad is something much deeper than what people think.
That's right.
And so I definitely appreciate that, and I think that's what um that's what kind of even more cemented the fact that I knew I kind of wanted more with you, and for it to be um I don't know, like not more real, but just long term, definitely more long term, because I I saw that obviously I saw that you were cautious. I saw that you knew the value of what we were bringing to the table, right? So that that was question number 4. Question number 5. Um, did you ever feel like there would be someone in the relationship? So question number 5 is kind of like what Hannah was asking me before or told me to ask you. It's like, do you ever feel like there is um I don't know how to explain it. Like, do you feel like there's something between us, or did you feel like there was something between us? Like, did you feel like let's say like a ghost of some sort, not physically, but did you ever feel like there was um a potential for, oh, it's the relationship is not going to be like you and me, the relationship is going to kind of be like always the three of us or something like
Me and Freya.
no, you and me and my spouse, or my deceased spouse,
I mean, in the beginning, there was definitely a lot of, I don't want to say comparison, but there was definitely a lot more talk of him. Definitely a lot more, um, just like, oh, he was like this, he was like that. So I guess you could say, yeah, you know, I, he was going to be a big part of a relationship, and that's not saying that he's not. I mean, he's still a topic of conversation because we do have to incorporate a lot about him with Freya because just from being the biological. stuff that he, even though she doesn't really know him, but she still has some of his traits from what we gather. Um, in the beginning, it was much more prevalent, more prominent. He was a big topic because of how everything went down, and because I was never trying to replace him, and honestly, I'm still not trying to replace him. I'm just trying to be the best me that I can be for Ashley and Freya. You know, um, but yeah, I mean, he is a big part of our life, and just because he was a big part of their lives, and an important part of everyone's life. So yeah, I mean, is it a bad thing? No. It's definitely something that I've learned to embrace because there will be some difficult conversations in the future, and it's all something that is about him and everything like that. That makes sense.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
valid answer.
Do you ever feel jealousy? And you can be totally honest because
Now,
some
now, no. In the beginning, yes. Um, Mildly like a competition, in the sense of like, he was around first. He did a lot. He provided. And I felt like I had to live up to a certain expectation. I mean, I also have my own. I don't even know what the actual word is. Maybe like eccentricities or whatever. I don't know what the word is. Like I have to live up to my own standards and expectations, but there's also the standards and expectations of him that at previously, not so much now, but previously I felt like I had to be at that level. I had to take responsibility for everything. And now I feel like uh, I am I am enough. I don't have to live up to someone else. I can just live up to myself and take care of everyone the way I want to, and not the way that I feel like someone else would want me to.
when do you think that transition happened?
I couldn't even tell you. I think it was just a slow, gradual thing. Um, definitely, definitely with the birth of our son, I think I stopped focusing so much on that and kind of really focusing on like being a better dad and a better like husband for everyone. Because at that point, uh, it was even less about me and more about just making sure that the kids and Ashley were good. You know, and
So like when the original dynamic changed, because my original dynamic was me, Freya, my husband, and then with you being in the picture, obviously that turned back to three, but now it was four of us, right?
yeah, between us two, Freya
Yeah.
and him, and then it was kind of like okay, it's like I never wanted to be a substitute for him. And it's very easy to get yourself caught up into thinking that you're a substitute for him and forgetting that you're your own person. And once I realized that, I feel like it kind of like was a little easier. Um, and now I am my own person. I am my own husband. I am my own.
Your own husband?
I married myself. Yeah. I and it's more of just doing what I have to do for me for shut up, Ray. It's for me and for them and all that. So it became a
I didn't say it.
it became more of just doing what I had to do and not doing what someone else had done.
Yeah.
Hopefully I stayed on track with that.
Yeah. I mean, as far from my perspective, I mean, I obviously I think I've apologized, and if I haven't apologized, I mean,
I don't mind
I'm
hearing it again.
I apologize, for all the times that I may have made you feel like you had to compare yourself to my first spouse, and not to say that I still sometimes don't think about a time like when I'm really low or when I'm really, I don't like, sad, yeah, because you can be sad and you could be happy at the same time. I really truly honestly feel that. And it's like I do sometimes feel sad and my miss my first spouse, but mostly as a friend. Like now I miss having his like livelihood, because he was a very lively person, very funny, very smart, and it's like I I'm saddened more by the loss of his life than what could have been our life. Sometimes, like, it's already been, that happened in 2017, so it's been about 8 years now. No, eight? No, 7. I can't even.
It's 8. We're 2025. Yeah, it's 8.
Um, and so time goes by and it feels further away. It feels like that happened ages ago, right? Sometimes I can't even remember how many years ago that was, just because it feels like like another me, like that was another lifetime ago. And that can also bring some sadness, right? Because you did choose this person to, you thought that this was going to be forever, right? I did marry my first husband, and I thought that that was going to be forever, and I never would have to think even about having another spouse or anything like that. And so that does come, you are going to think about that. I mean, I do, but when I think about it, and when I look at my spouse now, I'm like, wow, I still have a lot of love for you, and I still have a lot of love for my first husband, and it's like one doesn't negate the other. They just both are, you know. Um and it I do see them as two very different people, because they are, and one was one took place in that very beginning of my life, and we had our years, and now with my new spouse we've been having very different memories, very different dynamic, like he said. um, we had our son, and we have a house, and we've done traveling and stuff like that, and um, that that life that I had with my first husband is very, very different than the life I've lived with my new husband. So question number 6, which I guess you have said, it's like, did you feel uncomfortable to parent?
Um, in the beginning, I mean, I feel like you're never gonna be 100% comfortable with parenting. You are developing and molding these little humans into be the best person that you possibly can. But I am more comfortable now with doing it. Um,
That was question number 8. How
oh,
do
you
you feel? No, I'm sorry. Question number 7, I guess.
yeah,
Yes.
you get a 2-for-1 special here. So yeah, so back then I was very like, I'm like, oh, I'm not perfect. I am far from perfect. Handsome, but not perfect. Um, sorry. Uh, but yeah, I was like, even to this day, I'm still am, but just being worried and afraid that you're gonna do something wrong or scar these children for life.
Don't lie to the viewers. It doesn't establish a trust.
So I am perfect, I guess. I'm sorry, I didn't want to be too, yeah. But yeah, not just it was especially when you're coming into someone's life and they're already been around for a few years in a sense of Freya. You know, she was 4 going on 5. You know,
Oh yeah, she?
she
Yeah.
was 4 going on 5,
Yeah.
and you know, so it was a little uncomfortable because I didn't really want to just kind of like pry and wedge myself in there to be like, you know, excuse me, this father figure who was, you know, authoritative, authoritative, whatever. Um, you know, but I was raised like with, you know, some discipline, you know, and feel like children need to, you know, I always say if you want respect, gotta show respect. So I want, you know, the kids to know that as well. But I really wasn't comfortable with it yet because I really didn't feel like it was my place in the beginning. And there was a lot of people over the years who did say that essentially it wasn't my place. But the only person that actually mattered with saying that it was my place was Ashley.
Some people still say that.
Some people still say that,
Even
and
though
I got the paperwork that says I am. So if you want to talk to me about it, you know,
come on,
very glad to. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, in the beginning, it was very uncomfortable. I was a little scared, a little nervous about it. Now, more comfortable. Still, you know, still scared about it, still nervous about it because you don't want to make the wrong decisions. You don't want to make the wrong moves because you know things.
That's normal parenting.
That is normal parenting, I guess. So yeah, but yeah, I'm more comfortable with it now than I was.
Okay, next question. In the early stages, do you feel like I held anything back? Or like I held back, I guess.
I would say yes. You know, um, you did tell me a lot of things. You know, about your past and things that happened to you, but I feel like it took you a very long time to let me in mentally and emotionally, and it makes. I mean, with everything that's happened to you, am I answering the question right?
You can answer the question however you want. I mean, this is your question.
So yeah, so I feel like you know it just took her some time to trust me. She also is a little scared that you know she could lose me in the sense of me just not being here on this planet anymore. You know, that's always something that's going to be in the back of her mind just because of everything that's already happened to her. So in the beginning, she was very apprehensive about just kind of like letting me in and you know because she didn't want to like invest this time into somebody for them to not be there anymore. And it's not even the sense of us breaking up, but just me not being here. So yeah, she did hold back, and um, even to this day, she's still a little you know apprehensive. Like she won't sing in front of me, she won't dance in front of me, but we're working on that. I gotta like you know open the door softly and
try to catch me
and try to catch her doing her thing. I've done it once or twice, or like you know go up to the doors, kind of like listen real close, like to see if you know she's still doing it. But we've definitely made some big steps over the years. I think.
Do you feel like I had mental issues?
Our first encounter, no. She seemed pretty normal.
Seemed normal.
Yeah.
I do have mental issues though. I mean, would you say mental issues? I don't know. Tina.
Hi Tina. Louise. Thanks for joining us.
I don't know if you're allowed to call it mental issues. I don't know.
It's not the correct term.
I don't even know what they're called. So I was going to say diagnosed. I have PTSD and I have
adjustment disorder. I can remember that. She can't. And sometimes, you know, we're not perfect. You know, we do get into little kerfuffles, and you know.
Well, because you have your stuff.
Yeah, I got problems. I don't got anything diagnosed, but I know I got problems. If you know me, if Ray's still in there, he also knows that I have
That's
problems.
because I go to therapy. I go to therapy, and
I used to go to therapy, but now I can't afford therapy because therapy's expensive.
I've never heard of adjustment disorder. Interesting though. Yeah, I never heard of it either.
When she was going through some stuff, but we had to make various trips to New York. If she ever wants to go into that, we can go into that. She can go into that, But there was talks about it, and I had to Google it because I never heard of it either. And when I Googled it, I was like, "Hot dog! That is exactly what she has." Again, if she wants to go into that, she can go into that. I don't want to,
No, that's definitely another episode.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's like, with that being said, after looking into it, and I was able to read it and okay, that is what she has, and then I had to check myself because I have a bit of a short fuse. I do get mad quickly and all that, so I had to kind of check myself. Okay, it's not, she's not trying to be like this. It's just what she has. So yeah,
Screws loose.
we all have screws loose, some more than others.
Do you feel like my mental health has improved?
I think so. I think you've taken a lot of steps in your life to right the wrongs that have been done to you. And slowly with some of the things that's happened, and then with kind of us just trying to do better for ourselves health wise, even though we don't sleep.
That's just a parent thing.
Our diet, we've done a lot better with our diet.
Thank you, Tina Louise. Tina Louise says, very proud of Ash for taking her power back. Thank you, baby.
But we've been trying a lot to just be better in all the sense. So I feel like your mental health is getting better because you don't think I'm gonna walk out the door and get blasted by a meteorite or something like that.
Did I ever actually say that?
You were. I mean, I was just throwing a random case scenario, but yeah, you were worried that I would just unalive somehow at some point.
I do remember in the very beginnings when I used to get worried because he would come out of work around the same time, and it's I would give him a 10-minute buffer, and it's if he wouldn't message me in those 10 buffers because he'd come out of work late, and I'd be calling, I'd be are you okay? Is stressed and stuff. But
I have to drive through the ghetto. She was thinking I'm gonna be part of.
I think I was also pregnant though, so you have to add those hormones. There's a lot going on,
So I don't remember. Were we dating when there was a shootout in front of in front of the building, or was that before we were dating?
I have no idea.
I don't remember. That's a story for another time.
Okay. What are some of the ways, if any, that you respect my deceased spouse? Or do you even think about that, or what?
I mean, I feel so. He has a sister, and I want her to be a big part of Freya's life, because I feel like she's the only one that cares. She's the only one that has made an attempt to actually be a part of her life, and I really want that because no one else from that side really gives a shit, and that is my daughter, and she doesn't understand it yet, but one day she will, and I just want her to know that, pardon me, that she has this other support system that she needs. So I feel like allowing him to still be somewhat relevant in her life is important. So if that, so yeah, it's he was a person. He was a major person in her life, even though he wasn't around for a long time. I still feel like he's someone that should be respected, you know. And I may not say anything, I may not do anything, but I, I want, I want her aunt to be a part of her life. Like I don't want him to be forgotten because while it may be like easier emotionally, you know, he is still the reason she is here. So it is important that that is known. Does that make sense? Did I script the question?
No, that's good. Okay. When do you feel it would be appropriate to talk to our daughter about her bio father?
And his situation.
I mean, Tina Louise said, "Well said, Jer." So funnily enough, it's like we do actually talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Not every day, you know.
He comes up.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. Hi, Damien96. But we obviously do talk about him, and when Frit has questions, I answer to the best of my abilities. And if there's questions that she doesn't have, like he said, she does have her aunt, which is such a blessing that she, not only is she a part of her life, but she's also been very encouraging of our relationship. Yeah. Honestly, she was even very encouraging of the adoption, Fred's legal name change, because we did actually change her name. And
that was her choice.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
That was her choice. That was Freya's choice. That was not something we forced upon her.
I wanted to do it quicker because I didn't want her to have to go through this like identity crisis, and I guess that was just me putting my own things onto her, because I did feel like a constant identity. I don't know if it was a crisis, but I had trouble with my identity because I never shared a last name with anybody in my household, and it was hard for me. And so with Freya, I didn't want her to go through that. So she had my last, like when I got married the first time, I hyphenated my name and then I gave Freya that last name. And then we both had our last name. And now she has not my name, not well, she has the family name that we created for our family. And so it was a breath of fresh air to have someone who really understood that, Freya's aunt, who understood that it wasn't because we were trying to force anything upon her. It wasn't because we were trying to change her or her backstory or where she came from. It was more like we wanted to, Freya herself wanted to cement that feeling. You know, she wanted the last name of her brother. She wanted the family name. And I feel like that makes sense because that's how I felt too. Tina Louise says, understand that as my only name in my household growing up. Yeah, exactly. So, no, go ahead.
And in time, when, financially available.
What?
What did you trying to sneak through right now?
No.
In time, when we can, I do plan on changing my last name to the family name, so that when all the legalities change or anything like that, we will all have the same last name, the four of us, and that's what we want to do as a family. We want that unity, because it ain't gonna be my last name and then Ashley having her own last name and then the kids having their own last names. No, we're all going to have the same last name. And, it's going to be a melding of her maiden name and my current last name.
Next question. Were there moments of doubt in that the relationship would last?
Um, there were some very tough times in our lives. When our son was born, we were probably at our most difficult. A lot of arguments, a lot of explosive scenarios. And I didn't know. I didn't know we were in a, like I said, pardon me. Like I said, when he first was born, we were in a real rough patch in our lives, and I didn't know how it was going to work, but I I knew I wanted it to work. So yeah, there was a time where I wasn't sure it was going to happen. You know,
I mean, I was constantly kicking you out of my life.
yeah, every other day.
I definitely felt like, instead of losing him, I needed to push him out, because I wanted it to be a choice. When my husband passed away, it was so abrupt. I didn't have a choice when the relationship was over, and it really sucked, and it really took everything by storm. And I think anytime that there would be a little bit of a not even like a squabble, like how do you call it, like just any kind of like
You
disagreement
you
or
left the toilet seat up. Get out of my house.
kind of,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
there was any like anything that was like, oh, you're not perfect, which is insane because no relationship is perfect, nobody is perfect. And so anytime I felt just a tad bit like, oh, I can't deal with this, I'd be like, you need to leave, you need to go,
So
whatever I'd say.
the easiest fix is just not leave the toilet seat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like we are well past that now, and definitely in better spirits, even if we have even less sleep now.
Yeah. Okay. Um, how was being in a relationship with me any different than someone who hadn't widowed?
So honestly, the whole like widow thing was never a game changer for me. Like in a sense, um, I told her this on multiple occasions on our first date. Our 8 hour escapade, like a whole work day, pretty much, or work night in this case. I remember like just sitting there by her car, my knees on fire because I was in so much. Just I got physical problems too, and just sitting there, and I'm like, holy shit, I think I actually love this woman. And it's crazy to say because were we had known each other for less than a week. And
Well, not even physically.
Yeah, like we had literally just been
on an app.
Yeah, and we had literally only met each other physically, face to face, for possibly 4 hours before that, and it was the strangest thing, just being there and like looking at her and talking to her, and just having this emotional, like this feeling that is like, yeah, she might be the one, you know, and I could never say that to her because I feel like, well, not at that point in time. I literally met you 4 hours ago. I'm like, oh, I love you, Yeah, like I feel like that'd be crazy talk, and she'd think I'm a lunatic and be like, get away from me, psycho. But yeah, I never put the whole widow thing as a concept. You were just Ashley. You were just this beautiful Colombian woman who had stolen my heart. Still are this beautiful Colombian woman who has stolen my heart.
Okay. Did you do any research? Like, did you Google anything? It's like,
No.
steps, how to date a widow, how to
No.
whatever. I don't know anything. No.
Just because you're a widow doesn't mean you're a different person. You are still.
This is just a question.
You are still a person, and while yes, that happening to you is a tragic event, it doesn't change the fact that you should be treated like anyone else.
Mm.
You know, because that's while it is a big thing in your life, it's not that's not the only thing that you are.
Mm.
You know, you're still your own person. You still have your feelings. You know, it's like, and and as we progress our relationship, sorry,
No, I'm just itching.
as we progress our relationship,
What's the matter?
it's just the stream that was saying that there was an issue with the stream. Sorry. As we progressed our relationship, I kind of like learned more about how to. I don't want to say cope, but deal. I don't even think deal is an appropriate word, but like understand and work with. No, no.
You have to say the
sorry,
question.
sorry.
Tina Louise said, "Does it ever bother him that you still have love for your first husband?"
It did. It did. For the longest time. Maybe not the longest time, but it did for a while. Um, you know, it's just like she still has these feelings for this person that's not on here that's not here anymore. Um, you know, and I always felt like how could she love me when she still loves him? But now no. You know, I know how she feels about me. I know how she feels about him, and it's okay. It's okay that I'm not the only person that she's ever loved. It's okay that she still has feelings for him because that's just who we are as people, and I'm okay with it. Um, it doesn't keep me up at night. I don't think that she loved him more, and I don't think that she loves me more. She just loves, and it's okay. You know, uh, it did take me time. I did feel like, uh, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I wasn't good enough, but now, yeah,
Exactly,
we just
just
different
different
love.
love. Tina
Yeah,
Louise said.
and over the years, our love has grown for each other. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the streams, I'm looking at the camera, and and it is what it is. I can't dwell on the fact that there was someone else in her life before me. I just gotta be in the moment, be in the now, and worry about tomorrow. Because tomorrow is today, and tomorrow is what's important. And while her past relationship brought her here, it's not a competition. It's not a fight. It's just doing what we have to do.
It's funny that circling back when you were like, "Oh, even though, um, yes, it happened to you, and you were a widow, and it's not something that defines you." Uh, I I kind of did let it define me because I in the very beginning when it happened, I was so young. I was Wait, did I say I was 23? Because I was actually 22.
I think you said 22.
Okay. I don't know if I said okay. Well, when I was 22, he passed away when he was 23. When I was 22, I was a mother. I had my daughter. She was only a year old, and I was so scared and so disgusted, and I don't want to offend anybody, but this is just the way I grew up. It's like I was so disgusted by the label single mother that I did not want to be a single mother. And so I would still wear my wedding ring and I would tell people I'm a widow. And that was like one of the first things that I would tell people because I just didn't want to be labeled as a single mother because, sometimes in this society, it's like if you're labeled single mother, that's like a bad thing, right? It's like, oh, you made that choice. You made the wrong choice, and I mean, that could be further from the truth, right? There's a lot of situations in which someone can find themselves a single mother. And so yeah, I did let almost like that badge, like instead of, oh, I'm not a single mother, I'm a widow, as I would carry that as like something more honorable than just being a single mother.
Tina says no choice at all. It's like
Yeah.
you didn't really have a choice on being a single mother. It
Yeah.
just was brought upon you.
Okay. Did you ask for advice? Which I don't. I'm gonna let you answer, but I don't think he did, because he lied to his parents about his first date. He didn't even tell his parents that he was going on a date. He said that he was going to see Justin, which I don't even know if Justin knew. Which is funny because we just went to his wedding this weekend.
I
Last
didn't
weekend.
tell Justin. I only told one person.
Who'd you tell?
Marquise.
Oh, I was gonna say not even Ray.
But actually, I may have told them afterwards, but not beforehand.
I don't think you told anybody that you were gonna see me. It was like some
No, I told Marquise.
clandestine
I told
thing.
Marquise in case you killed me. I was like, hey,
Me? Kill you?
I don't know. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be here. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, look around there. But I didn't ask anyone for advice, because who am I gonna ask for advice? At least for your situation, I don't know.
But you said that dating me was not different than dating someone else. So did you not ask anyone else either when you were in other relationships, or just
So when I was
me?
younger, I asked my immediate friend group advice about dating. When we started dating, I didn't ask anyone for advice
About anything.
about
That's just
anything.
what you didn't do.
Which is what I didn't do. Like I'm gonna find out for myself. So yeah, I never really asked anyone for advice. And in your situation, if I wanted to ask someone for advice, I don't have anyone I can. I don't have anyone as a frame of reference. Even though you being a widow didn't affect me, I'm just basing the question off the end. I'm gonna answer off the question and the topic.
Okay. In what ways has me being a widow and having trauma hindered our relationship, if any? I would say yes, personally.
Yeah, I mean, there and like I said, in the beginning, there was a lot. The trauma thing, even to this day, there's still some things, but it is nowhere near. I would never say it was an issue. There was definitely some bumps in the road, but nowadays it's not even like a thought at this point. Um, I feel like we've grown together, and again, like I said, I'm not perfect, and I have my shit too. My stuff too. But I feel like I have become more understanding, more accommodating, and while still trying to get myself straightened out and situated. In the beginning, maybe the question again. Where are we here?
In what ways has me being a widow and having trauma hindered our relationship?
So yeah. So I mean, there was just a lot of stuff. But it was more of a thing of you not like per se trusting just
That's what I was gonna say.
anyone, not just me, anyone, and just having to like break through those impenetrable walls in your mind. And even now, I'm not 100% through, and that's okay. I may never be able to break 100% through, but I feel like that's fine, because you have these walls up for a reason, and all I can do is accommodate as much as possible, make you as comfortable as possible, and give you the opportunity and the reason to trust me. So yeah, I mean, back in the beginning, it was stressful, it was difficult, but now it's just a part of life, and we do right by each other as best as we can.
Yeah, I feel like in the beginning you definitely would push more. If I wasn't comfortable saying something, or if I wasn't, I feel like I wouldn't be as comfortable opening up about a situation. Um,
I would
I,
definitely pry.
yeah,
I
I
would
think.
definitely pry, and I know it because I have this problem where I'm super nosy and I need to know, and
But
it's
you
still
don't
there.
always need to know.
It's still there. It's still there, but now it's kind of like, okay, she doesn't want to talk about it. She's not comfortable talking about it.
I'm not ready. I have to sit with. Sometimes we just have to sit with our own feelings and kind of walk ourselves through a situation before we even let someone
Mhm.
in,
And
and that's okay.
it's still not easy for me. It's not, but I try really, really hard to not like just force myself on her and make her uncomfortable. I mean, I, I fail sometimes. I do fail sometimes, but I feel like I'm a lot better than I was before.
Okay.
Maybe not. You saw that? You saw that look?
No, I'm just waiting till you finish. Uh, in the 5 years we've been together, what has been the biggest change that has helped us grow?
The biggest change that helped us grow.
I mean, I don't know.
I
I feel like that's a
honestly,
loaded
I
question.
honestly think it was all those trips to New York.
Hmm.
Because it was like every week almost, and just putting some closure in that chapter of your life, and me calling out of work just so because we had to stay overnight. I
Hmm.
feel like, at least, I don't know. This is just in my mind. I could be well off. Just me being willing to be there for you made you feel like I actually cared.
So, for those of you that don't know, see, like I said in the beginning, my situation is very different than just being a widow, because I was also sexually assaulted for many years since I was 5, and so those trips to New York that he's talking about were all court dates that we ended up going um, to testify against this man. Um, that hurt me for a long time, and so some of that too has obviously or trickled into the relationship, and like he said, being able to do that, being able to see him sentenced, did take this huge weight off my shoulder, and has been something that allowed me to breathe more comfortably, and be me and rediscover myself. Um, Tina Louise says, so commendable, and I respect Jerame for being your support through that. Thank you, Tina Louise.
As much as I don't want it to ever happen again, if it did happen again, I would be by her side every minute.
Oh, going to court again?
Yeah, going to court again. You know?
No, we don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
no. But like I said, yeah, I feel like that was possibly a big turning point for you. Just because it was a very stressful situation.
It took a long time. It took like what, 2 years?
It took 2 years from the day we went to the precinct,
or maybe more, almost 3.
from the day we went to the precinct,
A long time.
to the day the case closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And there was also a mistrust. It was a whole thing. That's
Don't
a whole
get me.
other
Yeah,
episode.
we can do a whole episode on that. That was ridiculous.
And then the other thing, the last question I have is, do you think it is important to remarry, and why is that significant?
So I don't think you remarrying. hold on. Let me find the words for this. I don't think it's significant that you remarry. I think it's significant that we get married, because I love you. Pretty sure you love me.
I'm not talking about us personally.
Us?
I'm talking about
I mean, just in general.
Yes, I'm talking about like
see that's the thing. With that is, if it's I don't it's up to the person. If you want to remarry, remarry. If you don't want to remarry, don't remarry. Whatever is going to make you happy. There's no formula in life that's going to give you happiness. You have to find it yourself.
If I had said no, I don't want to marry you, would you have felt that was like how would you have felt about that if you
had said you don't want to marry me?
Yes.
I think I would be hurt. I think I would be sad. But that doesn't change the fact that I love you and I want to be with you for the rest of my life.
So you feel like you would have personally been okay?
Yeah, it would have been rocky at first. Not gonna lie. Being shot down like that. But still doesn't change the fact that you are my one and only. And you are the person I want to be with, the person I want to grow old with. I told you time and time again, I can't see myself with anyone but you, and I don't want to see myself with anyone but you, because I love you.
Tina Louise says, becoming a widow so young, I think you deserve a life and a happy marriage, but definitely up to the individual circumstances.
Exactly.
Yes. Is there any other questions out there before we wrap up?
Yeah, we are on a bit of a delay, so I think it's like a 20 second delay. I counted it out at one point, because if you look at here, right, up here, and then you look at here, it's still a huge delay. So, as I counted it out at one point, it's like 20 seconds. The internet's horrible.
We'll give people a couple of seconds to gather, to muster.
Mm-hmm. I do appreciate everyone coming out and watching.
Tina Louise said, "I love this and being here." We love you, Tina Louise. We can't wait to go see you.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. 10-second delay. Okay, that's not bad. So yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, the internet's poopy. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Yeah, we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Won't be with Jerame. It'll be again with my lovely co-host, Hannah.
Be equally as good, I promise. Maybe even better.
What else? If you guys still have any questions, definitely post them. I'm gonna post this to YouTube as well, so you guys, and Spotify, you guys will be able to listen to it. It'll be here unedited on Twitch for 7 days, and then I'll move it in a couple of days to YouTube.
Also, I know me and Ashley have talked about this. If you guys have any topics from previous episodes that you want to talk about, absolutely feel free to bring them up. Ashley and Hannah will have no problem talking to you guys about anything they've spoken to before. They want to stay as open as possible. They really want. Thank you, Tina.
Clinton said great job.
Thank you, Clinton. Yeah. They really want this to be a community for everyone to feel comfortable. I know I'm not the one doing the talking, but I hear the ideas. I watch them. I'm mildly there behind the scenes, and they want everyone to feel accepted. They want everyone to feel comfortable. So if you see something from the first episode that you want to bring back up, don't be afraid to bring it back up. Do not be afraid to bring it back up. They will make time. There's structure, but there's no structure in a sense. You know what I mean? It's like it could be episode 50 and you have a question about today's episode. Bring it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a community based podcast. It's not just okay, today this was my story and Jeremy's story, but it doesn't have to be. It's not always just going to be my story, right? This is whatever you guys have questions about, whatever you guys want to know. Maybe you guys have questions within each other. And that's what the website is for as well. So you guys can go and create that community chat and really communicate with everybody. So that way we don't have things that are just one-sided. Because, my perspective is one perspective, Jeremy's perspective, Hannah's perspective, Tina, Louise. We all have different perspectives on a situation. And we also haven't lived everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't lived everything. Jeremy, Tina, Louise, Hannah, we all are very different people who have lived very different lives, who have very different perspectives and
backgrounds.
And we can talk, about anything, and the people that grow in our community. And that is just our dream, right? That we have this wonderful support system where we can talk about anything and everything. So I do hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't checked out our other episodes, please do so and follow us on Instagram and YouTube. And if you do want to hear us go live on YouTube, you guys have to follow us on there too.
Yeah. I think the sweet spot is 50 subscribers. Yeah. Remember, it's free to subscribe, so do it live.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you.
Thanks for being with us today.
Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.